Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be shed hunting the Minnesota property that we have permission at here. It's about 200 acres and there's a lot of field that we have to cover, so it's only me out here, so it's going to be kind of hard. Might break it up into 1 to 2 episodes, but we'll also, in the next episode, we're going to be covering the Wisconsin property that we have. It's actually my grandparents' property. It's about 100 acres over on the other side of the river here where we're at. But yeah, today we're going to be shed hunting this property. I'll cover kind of what happened last year with kind of going on TikTok live, getting a bunch of following last year. So this year we're kind of going to push some quality out, try to get some videos out for you guys and kind of show what we do out here. I got an 8-point buck last year here on this property, on the Minnesota property, so that was awesome. Did a Euro mount with it, turned out really good. There's a lot of prospects out here on the Minnesota property. Last year, kind of in the field that I'm standing, about 200 yards away, I got a video of this giant 12-point. I honestly don't know what he would class, but he was big. And he came in and he was chasing a doe and kind of chased the doe a little bit, but then he stopped. I got a little video of him, but after that I never saw him again, never got him on camera out here, and I never saw him again throughout the entire season. There was another buck out here that the other person that has permission to hunt out here, he ended up getting it. I saw him 4 nights in a row when I was sitting at a stand across the property here, and he never got in range. And I was bow hunting, and the closest he got was within, he got to 50 yards. I just was not comfortable making that shot with my bow, to be completely honest with you. But the other guy that is allowed to hunt out here, we're good buddies, and he ended up getting it, so that was awesome for him. Just a really thick mass rack. It turned out to be an 11-point. I thought it was a 12, but wasn't that same deer that I was mentioning earlier. But yeah, today's video, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna be shed hunting here. Hopefully we find some stuff, and I'll see you guys later in the video. Oh, and make sure you guys don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It helps the page out a lot, helps it push it out to other people, and hopefully we can kind of get this page going a little bit. Started going last year and was very happy about that. So yeah, make sure you guys like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys want to see, let me know what you guys like, what you guys don't like, and we'll see you in today's video. Hey, what's up guys? Today it's March 2nd and we're gonna be going shed hunting at our property that we're allowed to hunt at in Minnesota here. There were about 3 shooter bucks that I never got to see but one time in the stand last year, and hopefully we can find their sheds today. I went out there a couple days ago and I saw probably about 40 deer in the field that you guys will see, and none of them had antlers, and I binoed them and saw a couple bucks that had shed their antlers. So we're gonna be going out there today and checking to see if we can find any sheds. This is nuts. Good thing we have 4-wheel drive, let's just say that. I'm like flooring it through the mud spots, and I'm like almost getting stuck, and we're on like a regular dirt road. It's just not going well. But yeah, we made it. All right guys, so we're back out here at the Minnesota property that we're allowed to hunt at, and a couple days ago we got almost a foot of snow, so it's going to be a little bit harder, but we're back out here looking for some more sheds, and we found the one on I think it was Tuesday night this week. We found that little one. It was like a side of a 4 or 5 pointer, but that's the only one we found, and we'll get into today and see if we can find some more sheds. So right now we're kind of just walking the edge of the property, right along this fence line here that I'm next to is right where the deer would cross over last year, and I'm actually standing like really close to the spot where I shot last year's deer. He was an 8-point, not bad, but he died like right here. And I shot him right over in this field over here. So we're gonna start here, and there's a lot of tracks and stuff, a lot of deer activity, so we'll check this spot out, see what we can find. So I'm at the first spot where we found that first shed in the video where we were here out at night, me and my buddy. There's a lot of deer activity going on right here. We didn't find anything over by the fence, the property line over down that way, but this is the next spot we're gonna check out, and I'll let you guys know if I find anything. Hopefully we find something. There's a lot of deer out here, especially in the field where I'm standing. There's at least like 30 deer here at night. Every single night they're just out here feeding and just kind of roaming around in big groups. So I mean, there's got to be more out here somewhere, so hopefully we find some. I'll let you guys know if we find some. I didn't find a shed, but there must have been some coyotes over here, because it looks like there's a pile of some sort of bones here. Not really sure what they are, but there's some deer droppings right there. It's a heavily used deer path, but it looks like at one point, oh, there's more right here. Looks like there was some coyotes in here at some point. I did end up seeing a couple last year, but not over in this area, so that's interesting too. It's a little ridiculous how deep the snow is in some spots. That's my knee, and I'm just trying to get over here where it's not nearly as bad. But yeah, that's kind of hard to shed hunt in when the snow's up to your knees. Kind of bobbing and weaving through this other fence line that's right at the edge of the property here. Not finding anything, unfortunately, but it's kind of how shed hunting goes. It's nowhere near easy, and this property is 200 acres in the Minnesota property that we're at right now, and there's so many deer, there's so many bucks, so I'm hopeful we'll find something. But as of right now, we haven't found anything. Still a lot of deer activity, but high hopes, you know. Just gotta keep moving. It's only me out here, so it's kind of hard to walk fast when you're, you know, just kind of scoping out a big area. But I'm just looking at the snow and kind of where the deer tracks are, and see where they've been going. So yeah, we'll keep going here, and then we'll see what we find. So last year I was able to take that 8-point buck out at the Minnesota property here that we were just at today, and it's kind of a cool story. So I was sitting pretty close to the barn, right on the field line there, and just like usual, every night here come all the does, and here come a few smaller bucks, and then all of a sudden he kind of makes his appearance in the woods line, and I'm like, oh, it's a pretty decent buck. And I kind of just snort wheezed at him, and he like picked his head up, but he didn't seem to care at first. He was kind of hot on the doe that was in front of him. So I snort wheezed again. The doe comes out to the field line, and he's kind of just watching her. Then all of a sudden I snort wheeze again, and she like starts making her way out. So this is the third time I've snort wheezed, and she's just standing there looking around for what the noise is. She's kind of curious, and then he follows her, and they're right at the tree line. And from there they go back into the tree line, and I'm like, oh shoot. Kind of give it like 2 more minutes, and then I'm like, you know what, screw it. I snort wheeze again. The doe finally like makes her way all the way out into the field there, and then he goes, yep, I'm coming with. Follows her right into the field, and he goes broadside, and using shotgun slug out here, and he just got bodied, basically, is the best way to put it. He kind of just turned up and fell 5 yards right into the woods line, and all my buddies were right in the barn. So I walk in there, I go, hey, let's go find him. And we were out there looking and couldn't find any blood whatsoever, and right there he was 5 yards right into the tree line. Like I said, I didn't see him go down, but it looked like he went down when he walked into the tree line. But he was right there, right in the tree line, was able to harvest that nice 8-point buck, and it was a lot of fun. So that's what happened last year. I didn't end up getting anything on the Wisconsin property that we're able to hunt out at my grandparents', but I saw a lot of cool deer that were out there. I saw at least 6 shooters while I was hunting. I ended up missing one, and the other one that was within range, I kind of screwed up. I pulled back too early, and he was standing behind a tree, and I kid you not, he was walking past this tree. I'm gonna pull back and I'm gonna shoot him, but he stood behind the tree for like 3 straight minutes. I was probably pulled back on my bow for at least 2 straight minutes. And then I'm shaking like crazy because I can't hold my bow back anymore. So I let off, and I think he heard it. So then he's looking up at me. My shoulder's so dead I still can't even pull back. So I'm kind of screwed there. And by the time I pull back, I barely got it back. And by the time I pulled back, he just took off running. It would have been a perfect 15-yard shot, but I kind of just screwed the pooch on that. But there are a lot of shooter bucks on both properties that we hunt, especially the Wisconsin one. I mean, the Minnesota one too is great, but there's so many big deer that we're able to hunt, and I'm very grateful for that. We kind of just gotta just seal the deal and actually like get one. We got a nice buck last year, but this year's goal is to just get one of those deer and get on it. The one I was on in Wisconsin was a very unique looking one, and he's so old and mature. So I hope he made it to this next season, but we never saw him when we were sitting. He showed up on my camera 3 different times, but we never saw him when we were in the stands. So it was really unfortunate that we never saw him, but I'm hoping he makes it through this year. But last year he was probably a 5 or 6 year old buck, so if he made it to this year, he'd be a 7-year-old buck. I hope he's not like recessing or anything, because he's just got a unique rack. He's a 7-point. But hey, thanks guys for watching today's video. We have a lot of cool stuff planned. On the next video that I'll post, we're going to be at the Wisconsin property shed hunting. And hopefully we find some stuff out there. Obviously we only found the one shed out at the Minnesota property, but you know, that's kind of how it goes. I'm new to shed hunting, so it's also really hard with all the snow that we got, and it's also 200 acres, so there's a lot of ground to cover. But I know there's big deer out there, and with the Wisconsin property that we're going to be shed hunting, I think it'll go really well, because the way my grandpa has it out there, there's just trails that you can walk on, and it's super easy to kind of maneuver out there. There's a lot of scrapes and rubs right by my stand too, and every year we find at least a couple out there, so really high hopes for that. But thanks for tuning in today, guys, and I really appreciate you guys watching and giving all the positive feedback. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. See you there.